Hello, I am Panos Kotzathanasis, and this is Asian Movie Pulse interviews. Today I am here with Man, director of Blue Room. How are you, Man?
Oh, I'm doing great, but kind of sleepy because it's already afternoon here in the Philippines. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the film won some awards in Cinemalaya. Are you happy, proud?
Oh, I'm very much happy and proud. And it's very unexpected because I really never thought that those awards will be given to our film Blue Room. So it's more of a blessing, I should say, than
Mm-hmm.
lucky.
Okay. In general, how did the audience respond to the film in the festival?
Well, in general, they loved the film. Fortunately. And as a matter of fact, among the Cinemalaya films, Blue Room was the top one in terms of blockbuster. So I guess uh, the audience loved it.
Mm-hmm. Did you expect that?
Oh no! When I made the film, I never had an expectation. All I wanted was to finish the film and tell the story. So that's it.
Okay. Tell me a bit about the story of the film. Is it based on real events? How did it feel?
Uh, Inspired by true events.
Mhm,
Okay, it's a story of teen, it's a story of a rock band composed of privileged teenager kids who are caught due to possession of uh, due to drug possession, and they are brought to VIP room called Blue Room,
mhm,
and that's where gonna decide if they will pay for their freedom or stand up for what they believe in. So that's you know the sum of the story. It was, yeah, the
mhm,
love, so to speak.
But this kind of VIP room for like the privilege, does it exist? This blue room does exist, or something like that? Let's say.
Well, it just so happened that the room was colored blue because in the precinct here, the colors of the PNP, what do you call this, establishments mostly are in color blue. So, and instead of going through the actual process of when you are caught due to drug possession, they didn't had that kind of process. What the policeman did was, they just went directly to the blue room, something like that.
Mhm. Okay.
So yeah, I just called it blue room because that's where exactly they were brought to.
Mhm. And tell me a bit about the corruption in Philippines. How intense is it? What we saw in the film, it's scary a bit. I don't know.
Oh well, I should say, you know, corruption is a very rampant. You can, watch it. It's in the news all over. Like it's in the print now. It's in, even in online. So even if the story, I started writing that in 2010, that kind of corruption still exists nowadays. So I think it's still the same, very rampant. There's still corruption, and too bad that nothing has changed. It's still the same.
Mhm,
So I think for me, the story is really to be told. It's really. I mean, it had to be told. So
mhm.
that's it.
And how is the military involved in this whole corruption scene? Because usually it's like the politicians, let's say, and the police. But now, as I see in the movie, the military seems to also be a part of this.
Really, the military is just that more on the policemen actually, since they are headed by there's um there, there were three policemen, right? But they have they have a leader that they have to follow. So Actually, it's really hard to explain nowadays because I might say something that I might get
Okay,
libel, you know,
okay,
something else. So
yeah. But
I'd rather not talk about it
okay,
now.
okay. But are you were you afraid what will happen when you saw this movie, considering its topic?
Well, I've been asked that the same question before. If because I pitched this to a lot of people, and there were, you know, a couple of uh, people who asked me if I was not afraid. You know, well, actually, I wasn't afraid for my life, and then I told them no. Maybe I wasn't thinking at the time, but now, yeah, part of, you know, yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, okay. But nobody bothered you so far, I guess.
Well, I think none, no, so far, because I think um they know the truth. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, okay. And tell me a bit, what is your opinion about the social media and how the youths are using them nowadays?
Oh, the youth.
The and social media, let's say, is it?
Well, the youth that I know specifically, they use it for their, you know, for the promotion of their songs, for the promotion of their films, of if they're having fun together with their friends. You know, they just use it to, to share that, you know, to their friends on FB, for example, or on IG. That's what I see. But there are only few, you know, youth that who are really into uh, politics or your or who are into social political. So for me, that's still a good start. Uh, yeah, that's it. Did I answer your question right?
Yeah, yeah. But do you think it's a problem how much young people nowadays are, let's say, involved with social media? Because we saw causing some problems for them in the movie, essentially posting all the time. You know.
Uh, with the youth that I know, well, actually, for now, they're not causing any problems at all. As a matter of fact, they're spreading uh, news about our current situation that help relay what exactly happening in our country. And for me, that's already a big step, you know, in telling the story what exactly uh, happening in the Philippines. So for me, that's a big help already.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. And close to the end of the movie, this guy Andon, if I remember his name correctly, one of the guys that is in the blue room, yeah, he asks a question: what would happen if we didn't know the military guy who takes them out? So
The grandfather,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well,
So
what's going
what would
I,
happen? Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
Yeah,
Sorry
I
about that.
just wanted to ask what would have happened if they actually did not know someone in the military, these young people that get arrested in the movie. What would have happened?
Well, for some, um, those who are not connected, they don't know what's going to happen. Some are, you know, they might get die. We might not see them anymore, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or they get murdered. A lot of things possible. I mean, there are a lot of things that going to happen to them if they're not connected, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And
Because there are a lot of, you know, there are a lot of there are few people that really, like for example, that they kidnapped or abducted, and then for a few days we're not going to see them. Right after a few days, we'll see that they're already dead, something like that,
mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
something. Mhm.
Okay, and let's just say that the movie continued for a bit after its actual ending. What would happen to the policemen that they get, let's say, caught in this act? Will they have consequences, or I don't know?
There will be a due process, definitely. Okay, they're going to work on this case. But of course, if they have also connection, we don't know what's going to happen if they'll be released or not, right? So it's a good thing that you asked that question because we're planning to have a series eventually about that. But the story is not, but the title is not Blue Room anymore. It's Rebel Rebel. You know, the band. The story will revolves around the members of the band while solving the case, something like that.
Okay, okay. And why did you choose to have the protagonist be a member of a band? Let's say.
Oh, okay. Because when I attended the workshop under Serving Now, okay, it's called Found Story. Uh, the story was supposedly based on a true story. Okay, that's why it's called Found Story. So we had to write story about whatever we can find. Okay, and it happened that I have a friend who knows someone that, you know what, we were just working on a certain project and then he just mentioned this. And then I told him, this, sound interesting. And do you think they'll be interested or they'll be available for an interview for my, for my script that I'm going to submit to this workshop? And then fortunately, okay, they're okay. And then they're generous to share their story. So that's it. I mean, there was really a bad. So why the protagonists were members of the band.
So they are actually this rebel group. Does it exist in reality? No.
No, it's not really rebel or rebel. It's a different band.
Okay, okay.
And
Thank you.
I think this band doesn't exist anymore at present. They disbanded already, as far as I know.
And can you tell me a bit more about the casting process?
Okay, the casting process. Oh, so I finished the script in 2018 in another workshop. Okay, script writing workshop under Mr. Ricky Lee, our national artist. So the original concept that I submitted to him, I don't know, I was sort of, stuck up and I cannot really finish it. And then I remember, Blue Room, and I thought of why not finishing this instead. Okay, so when I finishing this script under Sir Ricky Lee's workshop, in my mind, Anton or Juan Carlos, the one who's playing, he was already in my mind. I felt that he was the best actor to play Anton. And then Elijah, the one who played Troy, the guitarist, and the bassist, Nuri June, the only female member of the band. I personally handpicked them because well, they were recommended, but when I saw some of their works already, I already thought of they can play the role, and I followed my gut feel. In the process, I really followed my gut feel. Okay, and then the only members of the band who underwent audition were Keone and Harvey Bautista. Keone was the lead guitarist, and then Harvey Bautista was the drummer of the band. So,
and the policeman, the leader of the.
Human Cruz. I personally handpicked him because I know him personally. I mean, I've been working him for in so many projects. Like he became our, acting coach in my husband's short film, and then I've seen a lot of his works already. And then the other one, Bombi Plata, the one who played Miss Santiago, was our acting coach. So for me, it was easy to get him Santiago because I know he can play very well as Santiago, as the antagonist policeman. And then Jericho, who played Toledo, he auditioned. So the only policeman that I looked for was the role for Toledo.
Mhm,
So there were few who auditioned for the role of Toledo, and then Jericho Arceo, who we chose.
mhm, mhm. And do you allow improvisation, or you are strict with your actors, let's say?
No. Actually, before the shoot, we had workshop, and during the workshop, there were what I love about this process that the actors collaborated with me, and then even the acting coach. I mean, everyone collaborated, not only the actors, even the excuse me, the production team. Okay, so but with the actors during the workshop, we had screen script analysis, and then we even asked about the roles and how do they feel about it, something like that. And then sort in the workshop, it's a sort of a playground. We learned more about the roles, and then I learned a lot from them as well. So for me, like for example, they're gonna tell me, um, for instance, uh, okay, okay, for instance, Nuri Jun, the one who played Rocky, the
Mhm,
bassist, and then she shared that she felt that during the script reading, she felt that Anton and her had really had this big argument. That's why they never really had this good relationship at present. So that's what she felt. So during the whole the production, that's one of the, like, how do you call this, one of her motivation
mhm,
in
mhm.
her. So that's it. So yeah, for in this in shooting this film, we totally collaborated. I mean, sometimes we play, during the shoot, and then just like for example, like what's this again, Anton, Juan Carlos. You know, you know the scene where Harvey or Chiggs had a fight with Fritz.
Mhm, mhm.
Remember that scene in the bar?
Yeah, yeah.
And Anton came in, and then he asked the waiter what happened. It wasn't the script, it was all his idea. He just
Ah.
came in, clueless, like, and we found it very funny, so we included in the film. So yeah, so everything was a collaboration.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, okay.
Mm.
And can you tell me a bit about the cinematography? What you wanted to do in the visual aspect of the film?
Oh, okay. As you can see in the film, I mean the camera works were really, moving and very what's this how do you call that, continuous
Mhm,
shot,
mhm, mhm,
something. So because I wanted to make the, you know because my idol was, like Tony Scott, and then and Alfonso Cuarón, and then, with long shots, and then I felt that that was needed. So there were few scenes that I've shot in one take.
mhm,
So it helped also that uh, in telling stories, to make it fast paced in sort of way, if you put it that way. So that's it.
mhm, mhm,
So, I just wanted to be colorful as youth as possible, and in terms of editing, I want to be playful as well.
uh-huh. Okay, okay. And about the location, where were the police precinct scenes shot?
Okay, okay, the exterior, that was not really. precinct, so we dressed it up. That was a barangay office. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if you're familiar with that. It's a barangay hall because we shot that during the pandemic,
Mhm.
the height of pandemic. So we were not allowed to shoot in real precinct. And then
Mhm.
the interior, that was uh, that was also dressed up by our production designer. So we shot that in one of the uh, ballrooms, so to say, in our accommodation. Okay, because we stayed in a bubble. I don't know if you're familiar with health protocol of the Philippines during the pandemic. That if we had to shoot well, in December of 2021, when we were filming, we were not allowed to go home every day. We had to stay in one place.
Mhm.
So in our accommodation, the resort where we stayed, there were there were rooms that were available. So our production design set that up as precinct or a jail. And then there was another room that we dressed up as a hospital.
Mhm. Mhm.
So so those were not real precincts and hospital.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So, how long did it take you to finish the whole project from the moment you started writing the script until the movie was finished? How long did it take you?
If we're going to include the 2010, I started writing that in 2010, and then I finished it 2018. Okay, so that was 8 years, and then I submitted to Cinemalaya in 2020.
Mhm.
So it took me 12 years to finish it
Mhm.
because it premiered in August of this year.
Uh-huh.
So it took me 12 years to finish everything. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. And
It's quite
are
a
you?
really long process.
Mhm. Mhm. And has it opened in cinemas also, or just Cinemalaya? I'm not sure.
Uh, we're planning to have a theatrical release, but we don't know yet if when. Hopefully, early next year.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. And can you tell me a bit how is the situation with Filipino cinema at the moment?
Okay. Nowadays, well, yesterday I was in the mall and then I checked. My husband and I checked the cinemas. There were no Filipino films,
Mm.
unfortunately. Mostly like Black Adam, and then there was another Hollywood film which I cannot remember. I cannot remember. There were two films in this mall.
Mhm.
Okay, Black Adam. Like for example, if there were four or six cinemas, one of that five of those cinemas were Black Adams, and then just one for this another Hollywood film. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so there were no Filipino films at all. So that was sort of sad, and then at the same time, the ticket price is so high. So I really don't know if how the masses, I don't know if the masses will still watch Filipino films because of because the tickets are so expensive. So hopefully there will be a time that that that, that the the theaters will still be affordable, to the masses.
Mhm.
For me, to tell you honestly, it's very expensive. You know, in because before it was only 250 pesos, and then we asked yesterday 250 pesos. If you're gonna compute that, that's only in dollars, 50, around $5 US. But now it's around 380 to 400. Of course, for Filipinos, that's already expensive.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay. But in
So
general,
it's not really doing well for me, the way I see it.
mhm, mhm. But in general, before the prices go up, did the local people watch Filipino movies or just Hollywood again?
They do, but only few. They really spend more time watching Hollywood films than Filipino films.
Mhm.
And it's not that there's, Cinemalaya and Metro Manila Film Fest every December. At least, there's a week or weeks in December that they only show Filipino films. But after that, okay, Hollywood films again, all over the cinemas. Okay. Unlike in other countries, they limit the Hollywood films, right?
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Okay, and last question, I guess. Are you planning on a new movie? What are you mentioned something, but what are you doing after this movie?
Well, I just finished a script with my husband, but we're not the one directing it. There's a veteran director who's going to direct that. Okay, we were only commissioned, and then we're still in the stage of brainstorming for the series, and I'm still there are some scripts and concepts that are still in development. So hopefully I'll be finished some few, and be ready to pitch it to studios.
Probably in less than 10 years this time, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Oh, not that 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Great. I guess that's it. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah.
All right. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.
Thank you.